Welcome to our channel. We're the Turners.
Hello.
So, sorry.
Go
Go ahead. Billy.
Welcome. We've been away for a while.
Yes, we've been on hiatus. This is actually May of 2024, so we haven't done content in a while. I think the last time we did something was in December.
Probably so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but we've been very busy and just kind of living life and having fun and taking a break, a hiatus. But we're back, and the first thing we want to share with you is
We've moved
Yep.
again.
so we're going to showcase our new place, and I'm going to let Daryl tell you a little bit about the move, why we moved to,
Sure.
the whole thing.
Our last apartment was in San Antonio, Tlayapacan, the town itself, very close to the center of town. Before we moved there, we lived in Riberas, which is more of a residential area and closer to the lake and a little less developed. We liked it there, except the road we were on was a little dusty. We were right off the road, right off the very close to the street, and so we were exposed to a lot of dust from cars coming by. And
I was having a major allergy situation.
yeah, and we had a little bit of problem with the water filtration, and so we liked the place, we liked the configuration, but we
Loved the landlords.
Yeah.
We made great friends with the family.
yeah, we have been very lucky with our landlords. Our landlord there, Carlos, is a great guy. We still keep in touch with him and his family, and really enjoyed being a tenant of his.
But I have to say that it was a beautiful place that we lived in. We had just moved there, and I was having some issues that I'm not a sickly person, and I couldn't figure it out until one day when we discovered what was going on. We were mopping and every day and well, he was sweeping every day, but I wasn't mopping every day. But one day I said I'm going to mop 5 times and make sure that there's no dust on the floor. And every time I mopped that apartment and emptied the water pail, out would come a thick sludge of sand like material. And that's when we figured it out. It's like we weren't mopping every day. He was trying to keep it swept up.
Yeah.
But it's really dusty in the area where we were living. We lived kind of on a back road close to the lake, and the road was dusty except for the rainy season. And the dust was settling in the house, coming through the screens, and I had no idea. So once we figured that out, we tried something different. But we just happened to run across this other place, and it was closer into town and more convenient. So we thought, well, let's move. And when we moved, actually my allergies got better. I wasn't suffering as much. I had to get used to the environment as well.
So the new location was much less dusty. It was brand new. We had walked by there one day, and the place was under construction. And the supervisor invited us in, Jose, invited us in to take a look around. And we took a look around, and the new place was nice. It had a pool in the center of the complex. It was L-shaped, and there were only 9 units in the facility. And we had our pick of any unit we wanted to pick. And so we decided to move there, and it did turn out to be much less dusty than the previous location we were in. Plus, the new location had a complete filtration system. The water was completely processed before it came out of our tap, and so we thought it was a great opportunity, and so we moved there.
Well, I have to say that when we moved to Mexico, one of the things that I wanted to do was immerse. I want to be, a part of this community of lovely people. But let's face it, I do have sensitivities to things, and it's going to take a few, maybe 2 or 3 years to really get acclimated to everything that's going on in Mexico where we live. I love it here, and so there are no real complaints. It's just a matter of getting adjusted. And so we're learning as we go. So that first year, we didn't know what was going on, and we figured it out. And then the second year, we lived in this beautiful area, and then we, made another discovery.
Yeah. It turns
Not
out,
that major, but
It turns out that when we lived in Riberas, we would ride our bikes up to the Carretera to get on the bike trail. And we would go past this new construction that was going on just as we got up to the Carretera. We were watching this new building being put up, and it looked like townhomes. We weren't quite sure what this final configuration is going to be. It turns out that the apartment that we moved into in San Antonio, our landlord there, Max, was the same person who was building the facility in Riberas, which actually, I believe, started construction before the one in San Antonio. So we moved into the facility in San Antonio. We learned that Max also is the person who's building the new construction in Riberas. And so we wound up coming over here to look at this facility in Riberas after it was completed, which took a year beyond when we moved into San Antonio. So we moved into San Antonio, we lived there for a year, and they just now finished up this facility here in Riberas. And so you want to tell them how
So we were hooked. we at first we grappled. We were like, we are not moving anymore. And we did that for several weeks. We're not moving. We're not moving. But every time we came up, but we had a friend who was moving here. And so we secured an apartment for her. And so we would come over and look. And then finally, that one last apartment left. And we said, it's really a nice apartment. It's a little bigger. We don't have the pool, but we don't use the pool that much anyway. We use the pool when our grandson comes to visit. They swim. But, I'm more of a hiker. I like water, but it's not my thing. I like to hike up the mountain and that kind of thing. And so we just were smitten. And finally we said, okay, we're moving. And we took the last apartment.
Yeah, we came over to look over the apartment for our friend. And when we got back home, we talked about it. He said, "Hey, that was pretty nice." And it's a little bigger than the one we had in San Antonio. He said, "Let's go back over there and take another look at that because it felt pretty nice when we were over there looking at hers. Let's go take a closer look, and maybe that's something we'd be interested in."
But at first, though, that we were in denial. We were like, we're not moving anymore. It was just, and it's not like we have a lot of stuff to move. So we just came over every day. We were riding our bike over every day. The supposition was that we were coming to check on our friend's apartment. But really, we kept coming over here looking and contemplating. And finally, after about 2 or 3 weeks, we said, we're moving.
Yeah.
And so,
Max, it was the same landlord. Max made it a real easy transition for us. He was open to however we wanted to handle it. We were already renting from him in one place, so all we had to do was show up at the new place and just keep paying the same rent, no deposits or any of that stuff.
I mean, just
and he said,
easy peasy.
Yeah, and he said, you can transition over as quickly or as slowly as you want.
I love it. I love it here, and most, if not 98% of the people who live here, the indigenous people, the Mexicans, are lovely people. It's the other, the expats that are more of the issue. But at any rate, we'll do a video on that later.
One thing I do miss is that in San Antonio, we lived on a street that was right in town, and so there were homes, mostly in a lot of apartments on the street we lived on. And every day we would walk our dog from our apartment down to the lake, which was at the end of our street. And everybody on the street practically knew us. They knew us by name or reputation. And we know this because Tom, the manager of one of the restaurants right across the street, told us, because he lived in an apartment on that same street. And he said, yeah, everybody knows you, everybody thinks well of you, yada, yada, yada.
We're just really friendly. We speak to everybody, and we want to go and attempt to converse in Espanol, and we're better. We're way better than we were when we first got here. So
We'd have people stop us on the street to have a conversation. We didn't really know them. We just knew they lived on the street. And they'd be chattering away in Spanish, We just smile and nod,
anyway, as you can tell, we're like super excited about being here. We love it. And this has been a longer conversation than we meant, but we wanted to give you like the little backstory. So let's take a look at our new place.
We think you're going to like it.
We surely do.
Here's the Carretera, which our building fronts to, and there's the grocery store that's on the end of our building. They are neighbors of ours. And we're right around the corner, just 2 doors in. And this is the building, as you can see. It's Villa Santi. That's the name of our building.
Villa Santi.
Villa Santi. And this is our garage. Those are our rides in the garage, ready to roll. And you step right into our kitchen area. And the living space here is kitchen and living room all in one big open space. Lots of space, lots of lighting, and it's bigger, it's wider than the old apartment we were at last. And it's a beautiful patio area that Ada's got all her plants in. It's really nicely laid out. Her plants are a great add to that area. We have extra seating here, more than we had the last place. Again, the landlords provided a widescreen TV. We sit right under a fan, so we're cool all summer long.
There's my little workstation.
Yeah, Ada's computer is right there off to the side.
I wanted it in here so that I could watch TV sometimes instead of being off by myself. That was the second bathroom.
And this is the guest room. And Ada has it all nicely decorated and ready to host anyone that decides to come visit.
Oh, thank you, darling.
And we have a mosquito net up in case there's any mosquitoes that come around in the summertime.
Or it's just beautiful. It gives such a beautiful ambiance to the room.
And you're going to swing around here into the, those plates are nice on the wall there, Ada.
Thank you, darling.
And this is the master bedroom. It's bigger than our last one. We have a seating area just outside the bedroom on the patio. Again, we have mosquito net up. And all of our windows have a privacy shade as well as a shade to block the sun. So
I decorated our bedroom using feng shui.
This is our shower. The bath here is larger than the one we had at our last 2 apartments. It's long. There's lots of storage inside the bathroom, so we have cabinets and drawers to store things that we want right at hand. So everything is very convenient for us here.
Yeah. So the big thing also is that we have a little bit more privacy here. In our other apartment, we were, like Daryl said, it's like a fishbowl, and we were right in front of the pool. So lots of parties in front of our place.
This one has no exposure to neighbors or anyone outside of our little compound. So we can leave the shades up. We don't have to worry about somebody walking by. It's all very private.
No pool, but we don't really need a pool. We like this better. More space for the pets.
And as you can see, the patio wraps entirely around the apartment. So we have this main patio here. There's our neighbor's area upstairs. They have no patio because they are not on the ground floor.
They have the mirror door.
Yeah, they have a mirror door on the roof.
And we chose not to do the mirror door.
And Miko has a house outside.
We wanted Miko to have his space. Miko and Cabo.
Mm-hmm. And here's another planted area for greenery. Little tree back here that we're in the process of reviving. And that's Cabo's new location. He's out here, he can run all night long, make all the noise he wants, and he's got all the privacy he needs. We wanted you to see how the patio area looked at night, and it's the built-in lighting is very romantic and relaxing. Ada has decorated the trees with some sparkling lights. And it's just a nice area to come out in the evening and enjoy a cool evening breeze.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, the blue skies, and we can't see the mountains from where we are, but we love the ambiance just the same. It's gorgeous, and if we want to enjoy, the looking at the lake or the mountains, our friends just invite us up to their mirador. Now take a look at some still shots. My husband is a great photographer, and we're always up for showcasing his beautiful photos. Adios, amigos. Hasta pronto.